Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, it's a Trenches edition of Purple Daily where we will dive into the all-22 film of a great comeback. Nice little comeback for Slingin' Sammy, Darnold Schwarzenegger. It's also Kirk Cousins week to all who celebrate. But first, a shout-out to our friends at Nicolay Law, the exclusive personal injury law firm of Purple Daily. Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Things can get complicated, and you just need some peace of mind. You need someone who knows what they're doing to get you the compensation you deserve after an accident. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay. Also, AG1. It's AG1 season here. Old Macadac had a good time in Vegas for a couple days last weekend. Wasn't exactly eating the most nutritiously. That's where AG1 comes in to fill nutritional gaps. Trusted by top athletes all over the world, AG1 is a simple and comprehensive foundational nutritional supplement for whole body health. See these little travel packs here? These are handy. You just rip one of these open. You pour the packet into your water, or you do the scoops with the little bucket that they give you, and you shake it up either in the morning or in the afternoon, and boom. Each scoop contains whole food sourced ingredients that supports gut health, immune health, focus, and more. So if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 of these free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Purple Daily. That's drinkag1.com/Purple Daily. He is a former Vikings offensive lineman, 6 years in the NFL trenches, and subbing in for our guy, the Rhino, Alex Boone here. That's right.
Football, yeah! Football! Football!
Hello, friends.
Jeremiah Sirles.
Good to be
Welcome
back.
back, sir.
Also, did you just refer to yourself as an elite athlete that drinks AG1?
No, I said elite athletes drink AG1. And so
do I. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just making sure I didn't have to get you dinged up there. For
Elite B team basketball players in middle
Yes.
school, like myself,
Yes.
and elite backup tight ends in 7th grade. Yes.
And then stopped growing, and now here we are.
I was always. It's kind of sad. Like sometimes, like you're one of the big kids in 2nd grade, and you get that for like a year or two, and then you stop growing, and everyone else passes you. I didn't even get that. I was a pipsqueak all throughout elementary school. I lost the scouting battle in 1985.
I was the opposite. My parents. So I was young coming to college because I didn't hold me back 1 year in preschool, like the Texas red shirt, like I'm doing with my son. But
oh, that's smart.
The preschool teacher told my parents, they're like, listen, he's so big. If you don't push him ahead, people are gonna think he's dumb. They're going to think he's slow, right? He's just too big to be in the classes below him. So I didn't get the Texas red shirt. My son with the July 20th birthday, oh yeah, Texas red shirt.
It's always tough because
2 years of preschool, my man. Learn your letters twice.
If you don't do it, then you're physically kind of screwed.
Yeah. If I had one more year of college football or high school football, come on now.
And if Coach would have put me in.
Coach would put me in, we'd won state.
That's all I would have needed. So Jay's in here, and by the way, you can find Jeremiah also on the O-line committee, where you and Alex and myself, we did a full breakdown of the game-winning drive, and you're going to get some of those plays here, obviously, and much more as we go through like a half hour of film. But the O-line committee YouTube channel, Apple and Spotify, if you want more from Jeremiah and Alex Boone too. So yeah, dude, before we get into the film, I mean, if you would have told, let's like rewind. It is Kirk Cousins week, and so it's a good week to like look back 9 months back in March, and all of the people that were hand-wringing and fear-mongering, boy, if you let him walk and go to the Falcons or somewhere else, the franchise might never be, you might be searching for quarterbacks for the next 10 years, and like, yeah, it was sort of risky to move into unknown quarterback territory, but dude, they're 10-2. Sam Darnold is beating Kirk Cousins in every meaningful quarterback category. Cousins leads the league in interceptions. And now you've got freedom to do whatever you want after. You could bring Sam back if you want. You could go into J.J. McCarthy. You got a bunch of cap space. So 9 months later, This thing looks like a great decision by the Vikings, and Sam Darnold is playing his ass off. So, like, your thoughts as we kind of reflect during Kirk Cousins week here.
Yeah, I think the number one thing for me is when all this happened and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we signed Sam Darnold to a $10 million a year thing. And everyone was like, what the literal are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, Sam Darnold, $10
Fire
million?
everybody. Yeah.
Like, what a joke. I think the fact that KOC believed in him from the start. Like, KOC was the one that was driving that ship. I guarantee it. That he was like, I believe that I can make Sam Darnold what he was supposed to be. And as long as that man, he's bought me enough, as long as that man co-signs on it, I'm all in for it. And to see the way that Sam has came in and, through the first 4 weeks of the season, it's, hey, they're blowing guys out. But Sam is who he is. And I remember saying in a couple other podcasts on our show and stuff too of, I need to see him in critical moments.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see him when the game's on the line. Can he do it? And it feels like every single week he gets dragged out into deep water sometimes, and this dude is delivering time after time after time. And I'm super happy for him because he's setting himself up for a payday. He's setting himself up to be able to go out there and get it. And I don't hate that Kirk Cousins isn't playing well. It doesn't chap
so
my
vindictive.
ass. It doesn't chap my ass that Kirk Cousins can't move. He can't throw unless his feet are set and the ball has zero velocity on it, and that we're not paying the bill for that. Doesn't chap my ass. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, some of us have moved on with our lives.
Oh,
but,
have you?
But clearly,
Yeah.
you stay up all night thinking about this stuff, obviously.
The Kirk Crusaders are this week dusting off their helmets. Back to
what's
the front lines, baby.
What's one last thing on this, and then we can get into the film here, and there's a lot of good Darnold stuff. But what's kind of crazy is the whole discussion going back 9 months was it was less about replacing Kirk and getting an equal or better quarterback immediately. It was like a value conversation of, okay, you're trying to build a 53-man roster for this year and for the future. So if you're allocating way more to this one guy, A, is he worth it? B, would it be better to maybe like get a slightly worse quarterback, but then pump money into the rest of the team? And the Vikings did that. It looked like they were doing that anyways by taking a lesser quarterback and then a rookie quarterback and then use especially the freedom financially from 2025 and dude, they shoved, I did the math on this, of the free agents they signed last time around for the 2024 season, they actually took, and you're an agent, you get into all the accounting stuff here, they took $52 million in like cap hit accounting and shoved it into 2025. Like Greenard and Van Ginkel and Cashman and these guys, because that's the first year that they're free of the Kirk Cousins dead money. But what they didn't foresee, and I put the poll out on my Twitter account, forget about the money. If you could have Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold from right now through the end of this season on the Vikings, who would you take? And 87% of people that voted said just straight up they would take Sam Darnold as the better quarterback right now.
I completely agree, and all you have to do is watch the two play. Kirk still cannot move. He can't, and it's not like this dude was super mobile to start with. And then you add the Achilles, and even now his bread and butter, those deep bootleg play actions, get out in the pocket. He's not getting around to his spot. It's harder for him to flip his hips. I mean, just talking about age and father time comes for us all. It really does. You add a couple injuries on top of that. If you just look at the numbers and by pure performance right now, yeah, Sam Darnold's the clear choice to be the number one quarterback out of that group.
So all that said, let's start with some bad here. We'll start with, just the game was, the Vikings couldn't do anything offensively for like 2 hours, and then all of a sudden they unlock some stuff. So we'll go full screen here for the YouTube audience. And by the way, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, it's still wildly entertaining, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a better visual on YouTube. So we'll start with a couple of sacks where the Vikings just, whether it was, and you tell us, like whether it was offensive line or Darnold not getting rid of the ball, it was just a lot of discombobulated kind of stuff early in the game. So we'll start with the bad and then it'll get better.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's going to start happening to Sam is teams now are going to have to look at him and go, hey, we can't just line up in our base stuff every single week and let Sam Darnold and KOC have a great game plan against us and just let them go up and down the field. This was a wrinkle. This is cover zero, right? Arizona has done some cover zero this year, but not at the rate at which we saw it this year. And when I say cover zero, I mean there's no safeties back. It's man coverage across the board. and they're sending 7 or 8 players. Right here, they're sending 7. Right? You have your front 4, your 2 linebackers, plus the free safety. Right? That's a 7-man blitz. Look how many blockers there are. There's only 6.
Math.
Right? There's only 6 blockers. 6 is less than 7, which means someone's coming free. So this isn't as much of a miscommunication or guys not doing their jobs. This is the Arizona Cardinals saying, hey, we're going to have a flavor of the day. We're going to have a flavor of the week to try and rattle Sam Darnold in this offense early in the game. Yeah, the answer is right there.
That hot's right there, actually.
The answer is right there. But if you're not expecting cover 0, you're not really looking for it, right? I don't think that they expected this to be cover 0. I mean, it looks like it's a 4-down structure. Bradbury picks up 1. Dalton Reisner picks up 2. I mean, this is exactly picked up. You can't block this any better.
So Cam Akers, he's sorting what? Sorting.
Yeah, so Bradbury puts 2 as the point, right? Hey, Mike's 2, we're sliding right. Cam Akers' job is to then take the most dangerous next defender, right? And so right here, it's really pick your poison. I think 7's probably the most dangerous, right? I think Cam Akers probably needs to get over here and pick 7 up because 34 is the furthest guy away. But at the same time, either one of those 2 guys is going to be free.
Yeah.
Right? But I do think that Cam Akers probably needs to slide in there and take the inside of the 2 blitzers. But again, you still have 1 too many. So then you come back here.
Here's another one.
Right? Again, this is a coverage. This is a gotcha sack. So count how many guys are coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So 6. They bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they bring 5, but this is what they do here is they do a really nice job of getting the offensive line on this one. So if you go back,
Let's
or
go
to the end zone. Go to the end zone. Yep. Or actually go to the wide one more time. Sorry. So if you're looking at the wide here, I personally would turn this protection. If I'm playing center, I'm turning this protection to my right because of all this danger over Hawkinson right now, right? Hawkins down the bottom of your screen. There's 3 defenders that technically could take Hawkinson here in the pass tree, right? You have 2.
So some of them are coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So someone over here is coming, but there's also enough threat over here where there's also 3 over 2 on the top of your screen, right? 3 over 2 on the receivers.
Gotcha.
Right?
So you got like these 3 over the 2
So when
receivers.
I say 3 over 2 or 2 over 3, I'm talking about the defender to the receiver ratio, right? So I got 3 over 2 over here on the top of my screen. I got 3 over 2 on the bottom of my screen too. It's really kind of pick your poison here. Which way do we want to go, right? And that's going to be the conversation between Sam Darnold and Garrett Bradbury. So they decide that they're going to go left. They slide left. And that ends up being the problem because it's actually a very well done blitz scheme where they actually drop out 25. See Brandel there. Hey, we're going to go left. Hey, let's fan it out here. So we fan it to our left, which means that Brian O'Neill, Dalton Reisner, you're now big on 7 and 54. He then has to scan across to take the next dangerous threat. Well, because we decided to go left, we're short a guy.
Yeah.
Right? And this is credit to Arizona's defense. It's a good scheme. You pop out this defender over Brandel, and now you've effectively said, hey, Blake Brandel, pillow fine. You're not touching anyone.
Yeah, but he has to stay to what you've taught us in the past, like that. That's
Cam Robinson's
thing.
Expecting him to be there if they slant this in.
Yeah.
Right? Bradbury sees it late, and this is a really nice job. So Bradbury sees his guy bail, and he tries to trigger a 3-man bump. But the second that Reisner and O'Neill hear that they're going left, they're very coned in on, I got to block my guy one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right? And so even here, you see it. Dalton tries to get off to O'Neill late, but O'Neill slams the door on this inside move by 54 here. And so it's really hard to trigger a 3-man bump. Again, Ham picks up the inside guy, but because we just guessed and went the wrong way, that happens. Sometimes they get us.
This is fascinating. So essentially, Bradbury kind of realizes here. So they initially slide left.
Yep.
Bradbury's left. So
Bradbury's
like this way.
They're sliding to the left.
So, but he realizes right away that 25 bails. So right there, okay, he's gone.
Trigger.
So now what he wants to happen is bump so that he would take 7. Reisner would bump out to 54, and then O'Neal would clean up whoever comes around.
O'Neal would try and take 3, and then that would allow for C.J. Ham to take number 2.
Yeah.
But see how fast that's happening? I mean,
Oh,
that's
God.
that's happening at Mach 10, right? To try and trigger a 3-man bump on a blitz that's not a delayed blitz is almost virtually impossible.
Yeah. So, all right, let's run. Let's try running the ball. See what
Cam,
happens.
this was a big boy run by Cam Akers. I mean, this is a great run by him. And who got truck sticked? I think that was an O-lineman that got absolutely truck sticked on the sideline, by the way. That's a fine.
Here, let's go back.
Yeah, did you not see that? Watch this. Boom. 61 gets rolled over the coolers. Can you get that thing to go away?
I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, his helmet goes off.
Yeah. You can't
man.
get truck sticked by your own running back. What's the matter with you? Right. So now we line up here and we're just running duo. So this is duo, right? Which, I mean, I'm sure Boone's explained to you guys on this podcast a lot. Duo is essentially power without the pullers. So you want 2 double teams at the point of attack. So you're going to get a double team here between Reisner and O'Neal on 55. You're going to get a double team with Bradbury and Brandel here on the backside.
But
and
they both kind of just get to the second level right
well,
away.
this is a really nice adjustment by Arizona because we run this play a lot. So if pause it right here, right before the snap. So this is kind of a funky front because it's an under G front, meaning that the 3 technique is away from the strength. Mm-hmm. Normally, teams like to play an over front against us, which would move this 3 technique on over Reisner's right shoulder, which then would allow for really good angles on the double team. But when you line up in this under front like this, it takes the double teams away and creates more single blocks, right? So now Reisner's got a single block. You've got Brandel with a single block. But what it does take away is it allows you now to have free run to the linebackers, right? So it's kind of pick your poison. Do you want to take away the double team or do you want to allow free run to the linebackers? Mm-hmm. So now you have free run for Bradbury and O'Neal get to get right up on these linebackers right away. The big time block here is our boy Johnny Munt. Like
what a comeback game for Johnny Munt, man.
Right?
A revenge game.
This is one-on-one. This is a defensive end, and all you have to do is just get in the way long enough, right? You expect the Kittles and those guys, but he takes good footwork, gets underneath here, and then Addison and Naylor working a combination, receivers working a blocking combination, like a scoop here, working up, getting a nice job pinning. Addison does a great job of pinning this guy in here. And then because of the free run, O'Neal gets up on White right away. He has no read to it, and then Cam Akers does a great job because now it's one-on-one with 16.
Great tackle there, by the way.
Corner closes his eyes, tries to make a tackle. Can't do that, bud. You got to open your eyes. Watch.
What's 7 doing on this play?
So 7 gets lost because he's got big Brian O'Neal in his face right away, and then you come over here. This is a terrible tackle, awful. I mean, forgot he had hands. And then Cam Akers, that dude's chiseled. That's a great run. Can you see it here? Gadoosh.
Oh, cuts off. That's a bad edit by me.
It's all right. We'll dig it later.
The Johnny Munt revenge game continues here.
Yeah. So they go full slide protection here. And this DB, you would have thought Johnny Munt was like Iron Mike Tyson or something here. He just runs into him and just falls down. Like Johnny, initially I was like, oh, shoot, that's probably OPI. Oh, yeah, give me the chalk outline.
Chalk outline.
Right? Like, I thought when I first was watching, I was like, shoot, was it OPI? Did he push off? And then when they go back, it's like he just bounces off of him.
Dude, Johnny Munt's a force field.
Yeah.
That's why the football bounced off him on the onside kick last week,
if you meet Johnny Munt in person, you're like, physical specimen, right? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually not.
It's like Tony Gonzalez.
Again, this is a great job I love when we get under center and throw the football in the red zone because there's always the threat of a run, especially with C.J. Ham in the game, right? It just holds guys a little bit longer. Hammer time does it. This is actually really interesting protection. So go back one more time. So if you look at it here, this Munt is going to block for a little bit, right? So he's going to get in 55's way, and he's going to block, which is like if this is man protection, White now thinks, okay, he's blocked. And then all of a sudden, Cam Akers comes and takes over for him, and then he sneaks out late. Very, very sneaky, well-designed play because now all of a sudden, see White's like, oh, there he goes. Like, it's just really well blocked. And then how about Sam Darnold stepping through the trash?
And watch Cam Robinson with the mid-play slap on the ass encouragement here.
Go get him.
You'll see it better from the other angle. But is it real quick? Two questions. One, let's watch the ass slap here. It's great. Cam Robinson looking for work. 74 up here.
Yep.
Okay, what do I do? Well, let's just
go get him, Sam.
get on out there. Do you think this is a designed play to Johnny Munt, or do you think this just progresses that way?
This is a design play, right? This is the leak late. You want to try and really get lost in the shuffle, right? Because this is a zone coverage. It's not man, right? See how no one's running with this is ideally versus man coverage, but because it's a zone, right? They all kind of shift back into their zone here. But
and gravitational pull Justin Jefferson here.
Correct. Right. Everyone's coming over there. So now it really just is 1-on-1 against 2. And then when he just falls down, like I think if this guy's covered with Sam Darnold here, Sam probably just tries to either run it in or throws it out the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Right. But the design is to go to Johnny Munt if it's a man coverage scheme.
Darnold, super athletic.
Yeah.
Like way more athletic than maybe you think when you just like thinking about his Jets career or Panthers. The way that he moves around the pocket, escapes pressure, keeps plays alive, super impressive. All right, here come the Vikings, the defense.
I mean, I thought this was a punt. Like, if you just look at it from the way he backs up to catch this, but it all starts with the pressure up front, right? And Greenard, man, talk about potential all-pro. Like, I think he's putting his name in contention. He's obviously going to make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about all pros type stuff. I mean, he battles through a double team here and just is relentless in his rush of the passer.
He leads the NFL all defensive players in pressures.
So they go full slide away, which I don't know if I'm the OC, I don't think I'm putting a tight end and a running back on Greenard right now. I'd rather put my old guy Paris Johnson, 5th overall pick. Probably want him to block those guys. But they go max protect. They go full slide here. So they go full slide to the right, which then leaves Johnny Munt. He looks like Johnny Munt. I think that's Trey McBride and their running back to double team Greenard. The issue is this is home field advantage for the Vikes. Look how late the tight end gets off the ball, right? Greenard beats him off the ball so quick that, I mean, this dude's still in his stance, right?
Wow.
I mean, this dude's still in his stance, and Grenard's a yard past him. Right, so he doesn't even get a shot here. I mean, the timing and the get off of Greenard is so good. I mean, it's the best get off. Pause it right there. I mean, he's got the best get off of anyone on that D line right now. Look at it. He's all the way past the line. Everyone else is still behind the line.
That's crazy.
But that's what makes me. You think back to Von Miller. You think back to DeMarcus Ware, and like the greats. Their get offs are incredible.
Oh, he blows the running back up.
Destroys the running back, and then he understands Kyler's trying to come back out, stops him there, and still comes against him. That's a one-man wrecking crew right there. And then it allows for defense to make plays like this. I mean, that's not an easy catch. I mean, it's a punt, but you still got to keep yourself in bounds. But, man, Greenard's super fun to watch.
There's more where that came from as we get to the end of the game, too, from Greenard. But, yeah, he has legitimately become – he's having a better season than Danielle Hunter. And he's younger than Danielle Hunter. He's actually less expensive than Danielle Hunter. Yeah. You know, it's kind of the Vikings came out pretty well with these offseason swaps.
All right. So now we come back on offense and we start making the adjustments. Right? Hey, they're gonna blitz us. That's the flavor of the week for what the Cardinals want to do to us. They want to get to Sam Darnold's feet. They want to get in there. So let's just make sure that we're really cued in and we stay within our rules. So again, Cam Akers comes here. Cam Akers isn't the best pass protector. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
CJ Ham's our best pass protector by far and away. But you come up, Garrett Bradbury points out, hey, 2's our point, so we're sliding right. And I'd slide right too. Look where 34 is, right? There's danger over there, right? There's danger over there. So from a schematics perspective, it makes sense to slide to the right. And then, okay, they both bail. Cam Akers, you got to step up. This is your block. Even Bradbury comes back. He's trying to get to it late. Right, but this is a 4-man rush essentially that gets home. But Sam Darnold, this is the kind of stuff that Kirk Cousins, as much as we loved him, he doesn't have this arm strength to make this throw when a guy's in his face like this. Without his feet set, can't step into it. Right, this thing, he has no lower body into this whatsoever, and he's thrown it from the 15. I mean, that's an unbelievable throw. And eventually, it's only a matter of time until 18 gets open. Because if you're going to blitz the Vikings, and if another team decides, hey, Cardinals want to do it, you blitz like this, it leaves one-on-one coverage with 18. It's only a matter of time till he gets open. This is a great blitz pickup by Aaron Jones. So again,
Aaron Jones was in the doghouse for a little while in the first half. They sat him for a couple series when he was fumbling.
So this is a run action, right? So this is a run action. So Brian O'Neill and Dalton Reisner have the guys over the top of them. Garrett Bradbury does a great job of coming back underneath here. And then Jones just kind of pinballs around in here to keep everything alive, right? So they're fanning on the front side. They send a backdoor blitz. Bradbury does a really nice job. And then Jones is just in there kind of keeping everything around.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, throw, catch, Jordan Addison on the sideline. The run action here does a great job of pulling the fakes too. I mean, he too should probably technically bail out of this as a panic drop once he reads pass, but he's already too committed once he gets up in there. And Bradbury does a great job of just staying strong in the center. He's playing Bradbury, by the way, playing really good ball this year.
Yeah,
like very good ball.
He's always. It seems like he's always been like, as a run blocker, like serviceable to really good, and it just kind of depends on how he's doing as a pass protector, right? Because he's that's been the thing even going back to college. But yeah, he's been holding his own. Look at that. Look at him climbing that pocket.
Dude, he hunts down the field. He's a predator. Like if anything's within that like 12 to 18 yard window, he's like, nah, there's something deeper.
Yes. So
right?
this is to that point. This is Vikings have the ball now after the Cardinals decided to kick a field goal to go up 6. So this is it. This is the final drive. You need a touchdown. You got 65 yards to go here.
And what do they do? They decide not to blitz Darnold this time, right? Hey, they've been getting burned a little bit, so they decide not to blitz. But this is the problem. If you don't blitz, Sam, there's too many playmakers on this team. Someone's going to get open. And this is a great job. Brandel gets beat a little bit here. Cam Robinson, and the way he just climbs the pocket and steps up. And I talked about it on the O-line committee breakdown, but if you go back to the wide, the anticipation of this throw is very, very good, right? So when Sam Darnold releases the football, Jordan Addison is just coming out of his cut on the top of the numbers, right? So Addison right now, ball's gone. He catches this on the hash, right? And he's got to go up and over a linebacker standing on the logo. Doink.
Yeah, look at
I
that.
mean, the anticipation and the confidence to make a throw like that, man, he's playing it at an elite level, and it is super fun to watch.
And also, I feel like we'll see if I'm right or wrong here, but it feels like because he's getting pressured, and I'm getting pressured. I'm going to move in the pocket, climb. That's where a lot of quarterbacks would look for their bailout option, and it feels like T.J. Hawkinson is just a really easy 8-yard bailout here. So Hawkinson comes off that block. Okay, pressure. Isn't that's the easy pick up the first down, get yourself 5 or 10 yards.
Yeah, that's
easy
out.
But he's all like you said, he's always looking for the big 20, 25 yard play, which I love. I think it's great.
Me too. And it's because he has the arm to do it. Right? You can't make those throws unless you have full confidence of, hey, when I let this thing rip, I know exactly where it's going to hit 30 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm. We'll give one more look from the backside here.
Right. Great job. Step it up. Good feet. And even that, he's not even set. He's kind of just stepping up and twirls the hips and lets that thing eat. Love it.
All right. This is the 4th down, game on the line, 4th and 6, whatever it was.
So now Arizona goes back to the well of blitzing. Right? They send everyone. Where do I find? Where's my yellow-shoed friend? There he is. Right? Find
Actually, Justin, could you Justin, you only had 2 catches a couple games ago. How can we solve that? Wear more yellow, I think, is the
more
solution.
yellow shoes on. Right? So they're coming again. They're sending the house. So they do a great job of picking it up here. The only person that gets a little bit confused here is Robinson. Right? So right here, if Robinson just stays on the defensive end here instead of kicking past him, they'll pick this up. But he gets caught in the take 2 to take none. a little bit piece here. So Bradbury does a great job of setting back with the pressure. So he sets left. They bring Reisner this time, right? Hey, not getting fooled this time. And they have this all picked up. But Robinson gets a little bit confused. But same thing. If you're going to blitz, it's going to be one-on-one coverage on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hold down that man with one-on-one coverage.
Okay, this is to set this up. I feel like, we've last year we broke down a ton of 49ers film on the O-line committee, and I there was a play that you guys were just salivating over where Christian McCaffrey, Shanahan draws up a play where McCaffrey goes through the B gap, which is risky because if that opening's not there, the play gets blown up. Did Kevin O'Connell steal this from Kyle Shanahan, or is this a staple of the Shanahan offense?
I think this is a copycat league, but I think this is a play that they've practiced probably since OTAs and saved it for a gotta have it moment, right? Hey, we gotta have a play here. Hey, we know it's man coverage. We'll throw a bunch of stuff in front of the linebackers, and then we just sneak you out through this B gap. I mean, the timing, how quickly this play could get disrupted is crazy. Like, all it takes is Jones to clip O'Neal or clip Reisner, or, hey, if this defensive end decides it wants to take an inside rush move.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's so many variables to this play, but it's just a very well-executed play because Seven has 18 crossing across his face, which immediately, again, gravitational pull. And then he also has Jordan Addison coming across his face. And all of a sudden, you got to try and keep up with a full sprint Aaron Jones, right? Good luck. There's nothing you're going to be able to, I guess that's Naylor, right? Yeah. But even then, good luck. I mean, that's a very quick weapon. And man, I'm happy for Aaron Jones to score that touchdown after the first part of the game because we need him to have good confidence going down the stretch here.
He's awesome. He just needs to stop fumbling.
Stop fumbling the football.
Guy, easy for me to say, just sitting on my couch.
You fumble the football, you run a mile.
Well, just real quick, because a lot of fans, don't they practice ball security, or they need to discipline players more, to what extent is it on coaching? I guess
it's not. The only time it'll fall on coaching, and I've seen this happen before, is when you start feeling like a team has a fumble problem. It's kind of taboo. Like, no one wants to talk about it, right? Like, hey, just shut up. Just shut up. Don't talk about it. But then once it becomes a bigger problem where it's costing a game, then it's all people talk about, right? Coach, hey, 2 hands on the ball this week, right? Oh, yep. Yes, coach. Yes, coach, right? Hey, guys, we can't turn the football over, right, guys? Yeah, yes, coach. And then I've seen ball carriers get paralyzed by it, like full paralysis, where all they're thinking about is 2 hands on the ball, 2 hands on the ball. And then all of a sudden they look to their right and they're like, oh, I didn't see him, because they're so focused on ball security. It doesn't as much. These guys are professional football players. They didn't get here because they could fumble the football. You don't get it. You don't get on the field if you're fumbling during practice, right? It's just part of the game. These defenders get paid a lot of money, and they're really good at punching the football. They're really good at ripping the football. I mean, it's a hard position to play. Now, is it come with the territory? Absolutely. But I don't think no amount of coaching is going to fix ball security in the NFL. That's not how that.
Because if you go up to Aaron Jones when he's sitting there with a vacant stare, looking off into the distance, feeling like absolute garbage, if you go up to him and chew his ass out, that's what's tricky. I know that makes us feel good. We're mad. Somebody must be yelled at, but.
And also, what are you going to do? You're going to go and be like, hey, let's go over the 5 points of contact again, right? Hand, wrist, elbow, bicep, chest, right?
Yeah.
Like everything you've learned since you were 7 years old. He knows how to take care of the football.
Yeah.
2 hands.
So get your fumbles out of the way, I guess, in late November, early December.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't concern me.
Before we get to Jonathan Greenard absolutely just destroying everybody to end the football game here on the defensive side, we want to welcome Woodhouse Spas. Now, Jeremiah, you may look at my rugged nature and think, boy, that is a man who I can be a massage guy about 2-3 times a year. I know in the NFL, it's a crucial part of recovery. And even if it's not for you, maybe you're looking for the perfect gift idea for someone in your life, your wife, your mom, whoever it may be. Woodhouse Spas in Maple Grove, Woodbury, Rosedale Center. I can see Jeremiah with some lit candles, maybe a little couples massage.
A little ambiance.
Some ambiance. So 70 different spa services
Pink
at
robe.
Woodhouse.
I'm all in.
Oh, you're in on the robe?
Oh, in on the robe. Nothing beats a good robe, Mackey.
Maybe you and I'll go get a pink robe couples massage. See what happens. No, please don't envision that. But yeah, gift cards are available, woodhousespas.com, or you can walk into, again, Maple Grove, Woodbury, or Rosedale Center, woodhousespas.com. Gift cards. Think about the holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. Surprise that special someone with a couple's experience. woodhousespas.com.
I love it.
All right.
All about a good spa.
You know,
it's a good spa day, bud.
Did you ever cross paths with Visante Shenko, the former tight end, former Vikings tight end? He's mostly known for being caught in the background without his towel on a Fox-like locker room speech thing. It's like that was something. But so he used to be a weekly guest on one of the radio shows I did like 10 years ago, the Sirles and Mackey show, and every Tuesday he'd call in for his 15-minute update on the Vikings and whatever. Every time he was on a massage table,
I love
getting his an elbow in the back of the shoulder.
That's the day. I always got massages on Tuesdays and Fridays, man. Got to get it done.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go full screen here, and let's, for the last few minutes here, just watch Jonathan Greenard absolutely wreck a football game.
Dirty. This dude decided, I'm going to put my superhero cape on, and I'm going to win this football game. Again, the get off, dude. It all starts with the get off. I thought watching this, go back and just go really slow if you can from I mean, watch how quickly he gets off the ball. I thought watching it live he jumped off sides. Like that's how fast he got off the football. Compared to everyone else, he is look at that. Look how he's all the way across that white line versus down here Van Ginkel still on the half-yard line.
Yeah.
Right? And then to have the ability to turn the corner at top end speed and just put that hand out and boop, take that thing right out of his hand. I mean, Paris Johnson has no shot against that. That is such a lethal DNs all the time. I train some young DNs and they're like, hey, what's the number one pass rush move? What's the best way to beat a tackle? You beat him off the ball, right? You make him panic because when offensive linemen have to turn their shoulders like that, it changes the mechanics of the way that we're taught to pass protect, right? Once our shoulders are turned to the sideline, everything kind of goes out the window. And that's what happens when you beat guys off the ball.
So now, okay, they're pushed back, a little second down. And here we go again. Watch how far. I mean, he's out closer to the number than the hash.
Yes.
Against one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league.
All out effort. This is just effort play. And this is what you like to see from your superstars. Right, so they decide, hey, we're not going to let that guy do this again. So Trey McBride, you just stay in his way initially, and Paris gets on him. But man, just the effort to run that guy down. I mean, that's not Jared Goff, that's not Joe Burrow. Like that dude runs 4.4, and we've seen him take off away from different players, even this year, even of getting down the field, running for touchdowns. This is all out effort by Greenard. Right, he has to get through McBride. He stays in his way. They run a twist stunt. He's in the middle. He's even with him, and he just takes a great angle and keeps him in bounds too. That was the other piece of it. That clock kept running. Such a great hustle play by him.
Yeah, Kyler probably should have just kept running out of bounds. He probably could have made it if he just kept running, but yeah, that was.
But again, this is everyone else doing their job too. I mean, look, there's pressure over the right guard. He beats his guy cleanly. I mean, they're right there. I thought he got a face mask. We got lucky there. But, I mean, if Greenard's not there and doesn't have this effort, I mean, Cam Bynum probably catches him, but it's after he gets a first down.
Man. And then, so they actually, the Vikings called timeout. Greenard was completely gassed.
Like, I thought they were going to wheel the oxygen over to him. Get the old Linville, like.
Yeah, they actually may have. They may have given him a quick little. So I'll just back this up. And again, I don't know if this is an official pressure, but just watch him, man. And
I mean, he's starting to get the attention like TJ Watt, those kind of guys. Look, Trey McBride's got to hit him before he gets out in his route. And I mean, Trey McBride's one of their best pass catchers, right? Now you're affecting, hey, this guy's got to stay in protection. He's no longer the threat to go super much down the field. We need him in to protect because you have a difference maker here. And, I mean, Blake Cashman, Van Ginkel, all those dudes are just doing great jobs of getting to the quarterback, right? They run this natural stunt in the middle here. You've got 2 purple jerseys right in Kyler's face. I mean, if you look at that stunt game, I'm trying to see who's in the middle there.
So it's Jihad Ward is
Jihad
52.
Ward, right? So this is called a natural where you go down, down, and around, and it's perfectly executed where you have this guy or this guy over the center, the guy over the right guard are going to come down and pick. Cashman's going to loop around for contain. And then if you don't pass it off well, this is what happens. You've got 2 purple jerseys standing right in front there. You make him force the ball early, pick, ball game. Complimentary football, man. Nothing makes a better pass. Nothing makes corners happier than a good pass rush. I'll tell you that.
Man. Yeah, that was for like 2 hours. That was one of the most boring, nondescript football games ever. And then the fourth quarter was just
Fireworks.
ridiculous. It was bonkers.
Love it. Football.
Football. The National Football League. Wow. So, yeah, December football, Sam Darnold playing his ass off, Jonathan Greenard, one of the best defensive players in the NFL. It's going to be a fun stretch here the next few weeks, my friend. Any final words of wisdom, final thoughts from you, Jeremiah Sirles?
I'm ready to put the Vikings in contender category. You know, I think that the conversation has been, yes, but, you know, yeah, maybe, but maybe. I'm done with that. They have proven they are 10-2. You go win this week, you get to 11-2. You're in. I mean, the normal faces are there, right? Buffalo, Kansas City, Steelers. And then you're like, dude, the Vikings are there. Like, that is a team that is no longer, is it magic in a bottle? None of that. They have a great coach. They have a great coordinators. And their quarterback is playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. They are every bit of a contender as any other football team right now.
You know, just one last thing to what you just said. So we every Tuesday on the main Purple Daily episode, we do our state of the offense and state of Sam Darnold and 7 key quarterback categories from traditional passer rating to like analytical EPA and everything. And his average rank in those categories is 8th. So you could say that he's playing like you said, like a fringe top 5, but for sure top 10 quarterback in the league. And if his name wasn't Sam Darnold with all the baggage for 6 or 7 years, people would have a different opinion about this team. Because if I told you, okay, forget about his name. Vikings have one of the top 5 defenses, scoring, yardage, sacks, pressures, deciphering at the line of scrimmage. It's a really hard defense to score 20 points on. And they have a top half of the league offense with like the 8th best quarterback in the league. You don't even know his name, but he's like the 8th best quarterback in the league. And they're 10-2 with one of the top 5 point differentials in the NFL. Is that a contender? And yes, like you'd say yes. I'm not saying that they are the Bills or the Lions or the Chiefs quite yet, but
they're a contender.
Yeah.
And you get into the playoffs, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen once you just get your foot in the door. And I'll tell you this, of all the teams right now that you named, the Bills and the Vikings for me are the teams that are hitting stride. Right? Lions are up here. They are the pinnacle of, they're the best team in the NFL. Don't at me, Alex Boone. But the Vikings and the Bills are the hottest teams in the NFL right now, right? They win this, they go on a 6-game win streak. The Bills just beat Kansas City, then they go on and drag their nuts across San Francisco. Like, those 2 teams, the hottest teams in the NFL right now, those are the teams you don't want to see in the playoffs.
Yep. So, all right, again, you can find Jeremiah and also Alex Boone over on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel, Apple and Spotify as well, and the weekly breakdowns here, the Trenches episodes on Purple Daily. And also a happy Kirk Cousins week to you and yours, Jeremiah.
I'm ready for the Crusaders, man. Get your capes off. Here we come.
All right, this is Purple Daily. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.